Okay, so I'm going to be doing a translation of interest. This is from the translation from Roger Pulver. It's Night on the Milky Way Train. This one is Night on the Galactic Railroad, and the translator is Julieanne Neville. Now, the two translations are two completely different takes. Some of the story, this is a lot smaller and condensed, while this one takes a little more liberties with Roger Pulver's work. Roger Pulver was in Japan probably between after World War II, I believe. I mean, this is his what he has done, and also the fact that he is also an author, theater playwright, and translator. He has done many works in both Japanese and English. Again, being rewarded in 2018 for some of his work, and also in 2019 in Australia. Also, here's Kenji Miyazawa's autobiography. Again, the two works are two very separate translations. This one is a little more condensed, but you can tell that there is a lot of difference in the translation as well as the way it's been written. I will stress that the work in itself has been well, let me explain that Night on the Milky Way Train, Railroad, everything else has been incomplete. The transcripts that were found inside Kenji's house after he died in 1933 were also very, very incomplete and had to be reworked. Some of the translators, I will tell you, managed to work with both Pulver and a few other authors to make it much more condensed, but also worked with it to make it a little more better. So, okay, now that I had to put on pause for just a second to make clear what's going on, the publication for this one is the most actually an update of the original that came out in the 1980s, I believe this is the first time it came out. I don't remember. I actually, there's that, but I'm trying to find the original translation date. It's not listed on here. 2020 is the newest date for the copyright in this. There are 9 other stories in here, like you can see. Translators, I am actually on, I believe, in The Life of Budori Gusuko. This is the translation that was given at the time. The anime and this are supposed to go side by side. I have watched the anime, and I've watched Night on the Galactic Railroad. All translation-wise, I actually prefer this one of Night on the Milky Way Railroad over this one. But again, both are very good translations. There are a few liberties that were taken because, again, this is actually, again, Night on the Galactic Railroad was never completed. Kenji put in a start and an end, and then he had bits and pieces of what was to be happening inside that world. Unfortunately, as I sit here looking at this, even with the work in general, I'm gonna cover that because I don't really want you to, I don't want to break any rules here. But when I mentioned to people that when you read through this and you read through this one, there is a slight difference. There are 2 very slight different outcomes because, one, the stories, this person only was able to get a translation of 4 stories versus this one. The Once and Forever, which is on my Kindle, let me get that. Give me that. Let's see. Okay, so I do have on my Kindle, yes, I'm going to show you what I'm reading. Where is it? There it is. Let's see. Yeah, this is the book I have on my Kindle. Once and Forever, The Tales of Kenji Miyazawa. I apologize for the sneeze. I'm going to go to the front, and I'm going to tell you the translator is John Bester. And his translation is extremely... I actually don't really like it. I actually bought this as a... What the heck? Sorry. I don't know what came over my system. Okay. So, the work that he has done on the translation is just as much a part of what was the work that Roger Pulver did and Julieanne. But again, it is a little bit different because this is a digital copy. I can never afford this one. John Bester died in 2010, and this is the translation we were left with. John Bester did the best he could for what little did he have on what he could use. I do know he spent time in Japan along with Pulver and along with many other authors who were working on the same projects. Again, if you want to, I recommend getting some of the digital copies, but these are easier when you get a physical copy because you get to see the difference between the two. There's two different ways of doing this, but again, going from a digital format to this format and then going to this condensed format, you see the differences quite a bit. I'd say the one that actually says a lot is, let me see if I can find the page. That's Galactic Station. That's not the one I'm looking for. I believe it's the story of Scorpio is the one I'm looking for, and I do like that one. There's the Southern Cross. Yes, the Fire of Scorpio, it's the Fire of Scorpio, Capernella answered, referencing his map. Yes, it's the burning scorpion. The burning scorpion prompted Giovanni. It's a dead scorpion whose body has been set on aflame. By scorpion, do you mean the bug? Yes, but it's just a good bug. No, it isn't. I saw one preserved in alcohol at the museum once. Well, the thing is, the translation differs a little bit to what is in this one, which is the same descriptor but slightly different. Where is... That is different. Oh. I should have marked this beforehand. Oh my gosh. I have a fourth book to show you when this is done, but the translation of the scorpion scene is a little different than what it is here because it's not given a chapter on its own. But again, the Fire of Scorpio is a story that is a very predominant part of the story. It is very, very important to the story because it explains perseverance in the eyes of being in a situation that you're in, you have no power over. And I'm going to mention to you that what actually prompted me to read this is actually when I actually found a bootleg copy of Night on the Galactic Railroad, which opted me to actually buy the actual copy, which totally different matter. Now, I do have this. This is a second edition copy of the book, and it's edited by Hiroaki Sato, and he also, I believe, did the translation. It might be a different translator. No, he actually did the translation. This is a collection of the poems, and this is from the actual Spring and Ashra series of poetry that actually was first collected, I believe, in 1931. So there is a little bit of a thing about what he was working on and Kenji's work poetry-wise. So there you go with everything. Again, this one has does not have the Flame of Scorpio in its own chapter, while this one does. So there is that difference. There is a difference in how they situated it. So now you know what I prefer. I just prefer the more... I mean, this took me years to find, because the translation I was looking for about 3 or 4 years ago, the price of the book was like $94. And this went down to about $14.96, so you could guess how much I absolutely love this. This one I only had to pay $12 for at Barnes & Noble, and I had to order it. So again, after 12 minutes of me rambling about Kenji Miyazawa's poetry and how it works, I may go back again and revisit this collection and have a discussion of the comparison of these to the movies. Okay? So, if anyone is going to argue with me on that, I will tell you later about whether or not I will show you the comparison. So, future reference, I will do a comparison of the books to the movie. I will also do the same from this to this. So, you're going to see an entire series of videos on my YouTube channel talking about books and their comparison to their counterpart movies. If you want to talk to me about that, that's great. If not, I can also do a comparison for things like Redwall versus its animated feature, or I could do another one talking about Terry Pratchett versus The Light Fantastic and a bunch of his books being turned into movies. I could talk about that, but these were just something I have been interested in since, I believe since the first day I saw this thing back in 2004. So, you know now.